In the digital age, where transactions are made with the click of a button, the tale of Anna's experience on Facebook Marketplace serves as a chilling reminder of the unknown dangers lurking behind seemingly harmless online interactions. Anna, a college student looking to furnish her new apartment on a budget, stumbled upon an ad for a vintage mirror on Facebook Marketplace. The seller, a user named Miriam's Antiques, had no profile picture and only this single item for sale. But the mirror's ornate frame and surprisingly low price caught Anna's attention. She messaged the seller, who responded almost immediately, eager to make the sale. They agreed to meet in a public park to exchange the item. Miriam's Antiques insisted on a specific, secluded spot, explaining it was convenient for their truck due to the mirror's size. Despite the odd request, Anna, driven by the deal's allure, agreed. On the day of the exchange, Anna arrived at the designated spot, a quiet area of the park overshadowed by tall, gnarled trees. The seller was already there, a shadowy figure standing beside a nondescript van. The back doors open to reveal the mirror, its surface covered by a dark velvet cloth. The seller, whose face remained obscured by a wide-brimmed hat and thick scarf, spoke in a whispery, almost hissing voice, urging Anna to inspect the mirror. As she drew closer, a feeling of unease crept over her, the air around the mirror feeling unnaturally cold. Pulling back the cloth, Anna gasped at her reflection. It was her, but subtly distorted, with a malevolent gleam in her eyes that she knew wasn't her own. The seller's whisper turned into a chuckle, saying, "It shows more than just reflections. It shows desires and fears." Anna, unsettled and suddenly afraid, declined the purchase, but the seller insisted, her voice growing insistent and angry. As Anna turned to leave, the reflection in the mirror shifted, showing not the park, but a dark, twisted version of her apartment, with shadowy figures moving just out of sight. She realized then that the mirror didn't just reflect reality. It was a gateway to something darker, something other. Panicked, Anna ran from the scene, not stopping until she reached the safety of her car, the seller's laughter echoing in her ears. When she dared to look back, the park was empty. No van, no mirror, and no seller in sight. Shaken by the encounter, Anna reported the incident. But when she tried to find Miriam's Antiques on Facebook Marketplace again, the account had vanished, as if it had never existed. Her searches for any similar mirror or the seller turned up nothing, leaving her to question if what she experienced was real or some twisted illusion. Days turned into weeks, and life slowly returned to normal for Anna. But every now and then, in the corner of her eye, she would catch a glimpse of her reflection, distorted, watching her, reminding her of the day at the park and the truth that some things on the internet are better left unfound. As time passed, the encounter at the park became a haunting memory for Anna, always lurking at the back of her mind. She tried to convince herself that it was just a product of stress and imagination. But deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed her from that meeting. Her apartment, once a place of comfort and safety, now felt oppressive, as if the walls were closing in. At night, she would hear soft, indistinct whispers, and her dreams were filled with visions of the dark, twisted world she had seen in the mirror's reflection. It was a place where shadows lived, and fear was tangible, seeping into her waking hours, distorting her sense of reality. Increasingly paranoid, Anna began to notice odd occurrences. Objects in her apartment slightly moved from where she had left them, or her reflection in the bathroom mirror appearing delayed, as if it were mimicking her movements rather than reflecting them in real time. The air would sometimes turn cold, bringing with it the faint scent of something ancient and musty, like the velvet cloth that had covered the mirror. Driven by a need to understand and confront her growing fears, Anna started researching the mirror and the entity known as Miriam's Antiques. She scoured the internet for similar experiences, diving into online forums dedicated to the paranormal and supernatural. Her search led her to tales of cursed objects and haunted antiques, each story echoing elements of her own encounter, suggesting that what she had experienced was part of something larger, a sinister tapestry woven through time and space, connected by items that served as doorways to other realms. One evening, while digging through an obscure online archive, Anna found a reference to a mirror known as the Lurker's Window, described as a portal to a world of shadows and fears, where an entity fed on the negative emotions of those who gazed into its glass. The description matched her experience, and with a mix of terror and resolve, Anna realized that the mirror she had encountered was no ordinary antique, but a conduit for something ancient and malevolent. Determined to find answers and put an end to her torment, Anna decided to trace the origins of Miriam's Antiques. Her only clue to the mirror's history and the dark world it connected to, her investigation led her to the outskirts of town, to an old, forgotten antique store that seemed to exist out of time, its windows covered in dust, obscuring the trove of relics within. As Anna pushed open the creaking door, the smell of old wood and mothballs hit her, and she stepped into a space that felt untouched by the modern world. The shop was a labyrinth of artifacts, each with its own story. But Anna's senses were tuned to the presence of the mirror or anything related to it. In the back of the shop, hidden under layers of dust and cobwebs, she found a ledger containing records of items bought and sold. And there, amidst the listings, was the entry for the Lurker's Window. The record was old, the ink faded, but the details were clear enough to confirm it was the same mirror. The entry was linked to a name she didn't recognize, an individual, or perhaps a group, referred to as the Shadows Keepers. Armed with this new information, Anna felt closer to understanding the true nature of the mirror, and perhaps finding a way to sever her connection to it. But as she delved deeper into the mystery, the boundaries between her world and the shadowy realm of the mirror began to blur, pulling her further into a story that was far from over, where each clue uncovered led to more questions, and every answer hinted at darker revelations to come. Anna's discovery of the Shadows Keepers in the old ledger marked a new chapter in her unnerving journey. With each piece of the puzzle that fell into place, the reality of her situation grew increasingly grim. The Shadows Keepers appeared to be more than just a name. They were a group shrouded in mystery, seemingly central to the origins and purpose of the mirror. Driven by a mix of fear and determination, Anna began to track down any leads related to the Shadows Keepers. Her search led her through a maze of obscure references and cryptic messages scattered across various historical documents and online forums where whispered rumors of secret societies and forbidden artifacts floated in digital whispers. One night, while deep in her research, Anna stumbled upon an encrypted file in a hidden corner of the dark web, labeled simply as SK Archive. Hesitant but compelled, she managed to bypass the encryption, revealing a collection of documents, photographs, and correspondences that shed light on the Shadows Keepers. The group was older than she had imagined, with roots stretching back centuries, guardians of powerful objects that could bridge the gap between worlds, with the mirror, the lurker's window, among their most guarded relics. The documents detailed rituals and ceremonies centered around the mirror, suggesting it was not merely a portal, but a tool for something far greater and more terrifying. It was used to commune with entities from the shadow world, drawing power and knowledge in exchange for sacrifices that kept the portal active. As Anna delved deeper into the archive, the line between obsession and necessity blurred. The whispers in her apartment grew louder, more insistent, as if the mirror's unseen presence was drawing strength from her investigation. Shadows seemed to move with purpose, and her reflection began to warp more noticeably, hinting at the sinister connection that was strengthening between her and the mirror's dark world. Realizing the danger, but unable to turn back, Anna decided to seek out others who might have encountered the Shadows Keepers or had experienced the haunting allure of the lurker's window. Her search brought her to a network of individuals, each with their own stories of encounters with cursed objects and the mysterious group that guarded them. Among these individuals was an old man, a former member of the Shadows Keepers, now living in seclusion, burdened by the knowledge and memories of his past affiliations. He confirmed Anna's fears, revealing that the lurker's window was indeed a powerful artifact, one that allowed the Shadows Keepers to draw upon the energies of the shadow world, but at a cost that was too high and dangerous. The old man warned Anna that her interaction with the mirror had likely marked her, drawing her into the shadow world's gaze, making her a beacon for its inhabitants and the Shadows Keepers alike. He spoke of a ritual, long forbidden and dangerous, that could sever the connection, but it required the mirror itself and knowledge that only the deepest and darkest members of the Shadows Keepers possessed. Armed with this new, ominous knowledge, Anna realized that to free herself from the mirror's influence and prevent the Shadows Keepers from using it for their nefarious purposes, she would need to confront them directly, recover the mirror, and perform the ritual to close the portal once and for all. Determined yet cautious, Anna prepared to face the darkness she had unwittingly become a part of, stepping deeper into a world where the boundary between reality and nightmare was as thin and fragile as the surface of a mirror. Her story interwoven with the hidden histories of the Shadows Keepers and the ominous legacy of the lurker's window. armed with the knowledge given by the former member of the Shadow's Keepers, Anna set out on a perilous journey to reclaim the mirror and end its haunting influence. Her path was fraught with shadowy threats, as if the mirror's realm itself was aware of her intentions and sought to thwart her at every turn. Anna's quest led her to the forgotten corners of the world, where whispers of the Shadow's Keepers mingled with the legends of other cursed artifacts. Each clue she uncovered about the mirror and its guardians wove a complex tapestry of history and horror, revealing the extent of the mirror's power and the lengths the Shadow's Keepers would go to protect their secrets. Her investigation attracted unwanted attention, and it wasn't long before Anna found herself being followed by figures cloaked in darkness, their features obscured, their presence a chilling echo of the sinister force behind the mirror. These followers, she realized, were emissaries of the Shadow's Keepers, tasked with guarding the threshold between the worlds and ensuring the mirror's continued influence. Despite the growing danger, Anna's resolve only strengthened. Her journey took her to ancient libraries filled with arcane knowledge, secretive societies with hidden agendas, and finally to a secluded estate where the mirror was rumored to be kept. This place, shrouded in mists and silence, held the answers she sought and the dangers she feared. As Anna infiltrated the estate, the air thickened with the power of the shadow world, the veil between realities growing perilously thin. The estate was a labyrinth of secrets, each hallway and room designed to disorient and trap those who dared to trespass. In the heart of this maze, she found the mirror, its surface shimmering with a dark, mesmerizing light, guarded by the high priests of the Shadow's Keepers, who were conducting a ritual to strengthen the portal and expand their influence into the shadow world. Realizing that time was running out, Anna had to devise a plan not only to retrieve the mirror, but also to perform the ritual to seal the portal, all while evading the Keepers and their dark minions. The task seemed insurmountable, but the knowledge and experience she had gained on her journey, coupled with her personal stake in the mirror's dark legacy, gave her the courage to press on. As Anna prepared to confront the Keepers and reclaim the mirror, the boundaries of the estate seemed to warp and shift, echoing the reality-bending nature of the shadow world. The confrontation was imminent, and the fate of both worlds hung in balance, the outcome resting on Anna's ability to face the darkness she had once unwittingly embraced. The story of Anna and the cursed mirror, entwined with the legacy of the Shadow's Keepers, continued to unfold, a narrative steeped in danger, mystery, and the relentless pursuit of closure, as the line between the hunter and the hunted blurred in the shadow of the lurker's window. With the daunting knowledge of her entanglement with the shadow world and the Shadow's Keepers, Anna's quest became a race against time. She knew that the longer she remained connected to the mirror, the more she risked being consumed by its dark influence. Her research into the Shadow's Keepers had revealed that their reach extended far beyond Marrowville, hinting at a network hidden within the shadows of society. Their members, guardians of dark secrets and even darker powers. Anna's nights were haunted by vivid dreams of the shadow world, place where reality was twisted and the air was thick with the malice of unseen entities. These dreams, she realized, were not mere figments of her imagination, but glimpses through the veil the mirror had thinned, messages from the entities that dwelled on the other side. In her waking hours, she meticulously planned her next steps, reaching out to contacts she had made in her quest for knowledge, gathering information on the rituals and artifacts related to the Lurker's window. Each contact brought her closer to understanding the true nature of the mirror and the means to sever its hold on her. Her journey led her to a secluded library in an ancient part of the city, where texts on arcane lore and forbidden rituals were kept hidden from the uninitiated. Here, in the musty silence, Anna discovered a tome detailing a ritual known as the Severing, capable of breaking the bond between a cursed object and its holder. The ritual required the mirror itself, as well as a series of intricate symbols and incantations that needed to be performed at a specific astrological time to align with the energies of both worlds. Armed with this knowledge, Anna knew she needed to reclaim the mirror from the Shadow's keepers. Her investigation pointed to an upcoming gathering of the group, a clandestine event where artifacts of power were traded and dark pacts renewed. It was to be held in an abandoned estate on the outskirts of Marrowville, a place shrouded in rumors of occult activities and unexplained disappearances. As the date of the gathering approached, Anna prepared herself, gathering tools and protective talismans and rehearsing the incantations and symbols from the tome. She knew that infiltrating the gathering would be dangerous, but it was the only way to retrieve the mirror and perform the severing, to break its hold over her and prevent the Shadow's keepers from using it to breach the barrier between the worlds. On the night of the gathering, Anna approached the estate, its decrepit form a silhouette against the moonlit sky. The air was charged with an electric tension, the ground beneath her feet pulsing with the beat of unseen drums. Shadows moved across the windows of the estate, and distant chants echoed through the trees, a sinister welcome to the night's dark festivities. Anna slipped inside, her senses heightened, aware of the energies swirling around her, a maelstrom of power and malice drawn to the artifacts and rituals performed within. Somewhere in the heart of this storm was the Lurker's window, its surface a gateway to the Shadow world, and the key to her salvation. Her infiltration into the gathering of the Shadow's keepers would set the stage for a confrontation steeped in arcane mysteries and dark histories, a pivotal moment in her fight against the forces that sought to pull her into the depths of the Shadow world. The story of Anna and the Lurker's window, entwined with the sinister legacy of the Shadow's keepers, continued to unfold, a narrative of terror and determination that was far from reaching its conclusion. In the crescendo of clashing wills, the Grand Hall became the epicenter of a cosmic struggle. The symbols Anna had drawn pulsed with a radiant light, forming a barrier between her and the encroaching darkness of the Shadow realm. The keepers, sensing the threat to their ritual, intensified their chants, their voices melding into a discordant cacophony that sought to overpower Anna's incantations. The mirror, the Lurker's window, became the battlefield for these opposing forces. Its surface swirled with tumultuous scenes of the shadow realm, where twisted landscapes and sinister figures loomed, eager to spill into the world. With each chant and counterchant, the boundary thinned, the air vibrating with the energy of imminent breach. Anna, rooted in her determination, felt the weight of the mirror's gaze, its presence a cold touch against her mind. The whispers of the shadow realm filled her ears, promising power, threatening despair. But she pushed on, her voice steady, her mind focused on the severing ritual. The symbols on the floor blazed with light, casting the hall in stark relief, shadows dancing wildly as the two realms collided. In the midst of the chaos, the mirror began to crack, its structure unable to contain the strain of the conflicting magics. The keepers, realizing the potential destruction, shifted their focus, attempting to mend the fracturing portal, their ancient pact with the shadow realm hanging in the balance. Anna seized the moment, her recitations reaching the final crucial phrases. The light from the symbols expanded, enveloping her in a protective cocoon, while the mirror's cracks spread, its surface groaning under the pressure of contained worlds. The climax was near, the air charged with the imminent rupture of realms. The hall, a nexus of ancient powers and modern resolve. The keepers, desperate to salvage their control, converged towards Anna, their shadowy forms blending with the darkness of their summoned entities, creating a maelstrom of malice and desperation. Anna, standing firm, uttered the last of the incantations, her voice cutting through the din, clear and resonant. The symbol's light burst forth, a beacon against the encroaching dark, targeting the mirror's fractured heart. A sound like shattering worlds filled the hall as the mirror's surface splintered, releasing a blinding light and a howling wind that swept through the space, carrying with it the echoes of the shadow realm's denizens. In the aftermath, the hall lay in eerie silence, the mirror's frame empty, its gateway severed. The keepers were scattered, their power waned, their connection to the shadow realm disrupted. Anna, exhausted yet triumphant, stood amidst the ruins of the confrontation, her role as the severer complete, but her connection to the shadow realm indelibly altered. The impact of that night's events would resonate beyond the walls of the estate, through the veins of Marrowville, and into the deeper currents of the world's hidden histories. Anna had not only severed the mirror's immediate threat, but also untangled a thread of a larger, more intricate tapestry of cosmic balances and ancient pacts that the Shadow's keepers and their ilk had woven through the ages. As she left the now quiet estate, with the first light of dawn casting long shadows over the grounds, Anna knew that her journey into the depths of the unknown and her battles against the forces from beyond were far from over. The story of the creepy true Facebook marketplace horror, with its roots tangled in the digital age and branches stretching into the abyss of the ancient and mystical, was still unfolding. A narrative of modern fears entwined with timeless horrors. In the aftermath of the shattered ritual, as the first rays of dawn crept into the grand hall, Anna stood amidst the remnants of the confrontation, the weight of her actions settling in. The Shadow's keepers were defeated, their plans to harness the Shadow Realm's power thwarted. The mirror, the lurker's window, once a conduit to a world of darkness and malice, was now just a frame of splintered wood and shattered glass, its threat nullified. With the connection to the Shadow Realm severed, the oppressive grip on Marrowville began to wane. The whispers in the night ceased, the unnatural cold lifted, and the town slowly returned to its former, untroubled rhythm. Anna, her role as the Severer fulfilled, felt a mix of relief and exhaustion, her journey through the night's terror ending with the break of day. In the following days, the estate where the Shadow's keepers had gathered was abandoned once again, its secrets locked within its crumbling walls. Anna's actions remained unknown to the townspeople. Her battle against the shadows, a silent victory. She kept the events of that night to herself, a personal testament to the thin veil between the ordinary and the extraordinary, the seen and the unseen. However, the destruction of the lurker's window did not mark the end of Anna's encounters with the mystical and the mysterious. Her interaction with the Shadow Realm had left a lasting mark, a sensitivity to the ebb and flow of the hidden forces that thread through the world. She became a guardian of sorts, a watcher for signs of the thinning veil between realities, ensuring that no such breach would threaten her world again. The story of Anna and the creepy true Facebook marketplace horror, while concluded in the battle against the Shadow's keepers, opened the door to a new understanding of the layers of reality that exist just beyond the edge of perception. Her life returned to a semblance of normalcy, but with the knowledge that the shadows held more than just darkness, and that her vigilance was the thin line between her world and the whispers from beyond. In Marrowville, life went on. The tale of the haunted mirror and the night of shattered realities fading into the realm of urban legend. But for Anna, the memory remained vivid, a stark reminder of the night she stood at the crossroads of worlds and faced the true face of fear, not just to save herself, but to protect the unsuspecting souls who remained oblivious to the horrors that lurked in the shadows, waiting for a window to open once more.